Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani Krekras Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa. Good morning. The news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. And as it is throughout the entire week, the nation still mourns the passing of Dr. Hage Geingob, the architect of the Namibian Constitution.
How are you doing today, Ashwin?
We're all right, we're all right.
We push forward.
We push forward indeed.
Let's get into what you can expect in today's broadcast. Senegal's parliament votes to delay presidential election until December 15th. Abducted Nigerian school children freed. And Botswana's president arrives in Windhoek, Namibia, following announcement of President Hage Geingob's death. We'll also be bringing you news from Zambia a little later on in the show with Mike Suchula. For now, we'll be taking a quick ad break and returning with our top stories.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our top stories, Senegal's parliament voted on Monday to delay the West African nation's presidential election until the 15th of December in chaotic voting processes that took place after security forces broke up an opposition attempt to block the vote and forcefully removed those lawmakers from the legislative building. Also on Monday, two opposition candidates filed legal challenges against President Macky Sall's decision to postpone the February 25 election. One of the provisions of the election delay bill adopted by the National Assembly means that Sall's tenure, due to end on the 2nd of April, will be extended until the new election is held. Sall had announced in July that he would not seek a third term in office. The African Union urged Senegal's government to organize the election as soon as possible.
Moving over to Nigeria, gunmen in the southwest of the country have released 6 children and 3 teachers who they kidnapped nearly a week ago. Authorities in Ekiti State on Sunday said a driver who was taken with them was killed. They did not say if a ransom was paid to secure the pupils' freedom. The kidnappers had demanded more than $100,000. Video shared online showed the school children looking tired and bewildered. They were expected to be taken to a local hospital for medical treatment and post-trauma therapy. Kidnappings are common in the north of Nigeria, but have been spreading across the country. Just last week, armed men shot dead a traditional ruler in Kwara State and kidnapped 2 people, including the monarch's wife.
Now, South Africa's Minerals Council said on Monday that restructuring of the country's platinum group metals industry could result in between 4,000 and 7,000 job cuts. South African PGM miners are increasingly discussing the need to restructure unprofitable production following a decline in prices and high input costs, the council said at the start of the Investing in Africa Mining Indaba conference in Cape Town. The Minerals Council said the sector, largely dependent on automakers who use the metals to curb emissions in petroleum-powered engines, faces a great deal of uncertainty as the world pivots towards clean energy in transportation.
Meanwhile, in Mali, demonstrators flooded the streets of Bamako on Thursday, rallying in support of the Malian junta's decision to withdraw the country from the Economic Community of West African States. The protesters, predominantly young people and school children, brandished placards bearing slogans such as "Down with ECOWAS, Long Live AES." The Alliance of Sahel States, a newly formed organization including Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso, was highlighted as an alternative by the protesters. This move comes after months of escalating tensions between the 3 coup-affected nations in ECOWAS, reaching a boiling point with the sudden announcement of their withdrawal on Sunday. In a joint statement, the juntas of Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso accused ECOWAS of a lack of support and denounced the illegitimate, inhumane and irresponsible coup-related sanctions imposed on them. Notably, ECOWAS released a statement asserting that it had not been formally notified of the decision to withdraw.
Now, Namibia's newly inaugurated President Nangolo Mbumba has declared a period of national mourning in honor of his predecessor, President Hage Geingob, who died on Sunday. Geingob, 82, died while receiving treatment for cancer at a hospital in the capital, Windhoek. The national mourning period began on Monday and is set to last until the date of Geingob's funeral, which is yet to be determined. The president has constituted a committee chaired by the Prime Minister, which is making arrangements for the funeral. All national flags in Namibia in its foreign diplomatic missions will be flown at half-mast until the late president's funeral. The government has denied reports that schools will close during this time.
Now, just an update. Botswana President Mokgweetsi Masisi landed at the Eros Airport in Windhoek yesterday, making him the first foreign head of state to arrive in the country following the announcement of President Hage Geingob's death on Sunday. He visited Geingob's residence to comfort the Geingob family, including former First Lady Monica Geingob. Masisi and Geingob were close friends and counterparts.
You are the first head of state, foreign head of state to arrive since we had the news of the passing of the president. What does it say about the relations between Namibia and Botswana?
Well, I wasn't trying to be the first. I can only speak to our relationship, which was extremely close and is very warm. Despite our age differences as human beings, we are very, very close. But the nice thing about how close is that we moved our governments much closer and our people much closer. And the nice thing about institutions that this remains, and it would be for us now to grow it even better in the interest of those who started it.
Those are the words from President Mokgweetsi Masisi of Botswana, and President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia also had some remarks which we'll get into with Mike Sichula as we talk to him after the break, getting the news from the real Africa.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Now, as Ashwin briefly highlighted earlier on, President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia has paid tribute and condolences to the people of Namibia following the passing of President Hage Geingob. Here to give us more is Mike Sichula. Good morning, Mr. Sichula.
Africa, good morning, and indeed condolences to the people of Namibia. Yes, indeed, President Hakainde Hichilema joined other heads of Africa to pass their condolences to the people of Namibia. President Hichilema described the death of President Hage as a loss to the African community and something that has come as a shock. He did call on the people of Namibia to mourn their leader with dignity and honor. Also, Zambia 6 President Edgar Lungu said that the death of the president is the big loss to Namibia in particular and the SADC region in general. He said he was privileged to share a brotherly relationship with President Hage from the time both of them were given the grace to become heads of state in their respective countries in the year 2015. Mr. Lungu says the president will always be remembered as a liberation struggle icon of Namibia who dedicated his life to help his country gain independence in 1990. And also some of the government ministers who worked with the late president have also paid their tribute and condolences to the late president. One of them is technology and the science minister, Mr. Felix Mustati, who said that at a time when he served as the Minister of Commerce during the reign of late President Rupia Banda. He also worked closely with President Hage, and they did push for the advancement of the African tripartite free trade area, something that he says the late president contributed immensely to the actualization of the treaty.
Yes, indeed. And during the fight for liberation, Dr. Hage Geingob did spend a considerable amount of time in Zambia forging important connections, which he would obviously maintain throughout his life. Now, in our next story, the African Union has backed Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo on a project to locally manufacture electric car batteries. Please give us more.
Yes, for the sake of our viewers, Congo and Zambia, they do produce minerals that are essential for the production of electric car batteries. So President Hichilema and President Tshisekedi have been on this drive to ensure that there is a company that is established between the two countries for the establishment of electric batteries. So the African Union has gotten wind of this, and they have praised Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo for embarking on value addition projects through the manufacturing of the electric car batteries. AU Commissioner for Trade and Industry at the Albert Muchanga, who is a Zambian, says the initiative by Zambia and the DRC is vital towards attaining investment in the mineral development value chain for sustainable economic growth. So this is something that the African Union is hoping that to become a full reality, so that electric car batteries can be manufactured by Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Then also on the same, the Zambian presidential advisor to President Hichilema, Jito Kayumba, has told the media that the paper that is supposed to formulate the manufacturing of these electric car batteries has been concluded, and it will soon be submitted to the two governments in order for them to make recommendations so that this can become a reality.
All right, now Mr. Sichula, Cobalt Metals, a company owned by Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, is open to partnerships to fast-track the $2 billion copper mine. Can you please give us the full details?
Yeah, yesterday there was a landmark announcement that the company has managed to discover some copper deposits that are of high grade. So they have since says they are open to partners as they plan a $2 billion investment in the Zambian copper mine. So this is a Californian-based metal exploration company backed by the two billionaires. So they are looking for investment partners because they want to fast-track development of the new mine that could cost about $2 billion United States dollars. Initially, the project was supposed to start production in the next 5 to 6 years, but according to latest information, they want to fast-track the production of copper at least by 2027, so that they can push for the extraction of minerals such as copper, cobalt, nickel, and lithium that could also be listed on its shares in the next 3 to 4 years. So according to Josh Gordon, who is the co-founder and president of the mine. So this news has also excited the government because they are thinking once this mine becomes full operational, it will contribute to revenue for the government, then also employment for the local people, and also to meet the target of going to mine at least 3 million metric tons of copper in the next 10 years. So it is something that the government has remained hopeful, and the people of the area are hopeful that this mine is going to revamp the economic prospects of the Copper Belt region.
All right, we'll certainly be keeping an eye on how that all unfolds. Now, the Scottish government has availed £500,000 for Zambia's fight against cholera. Tell us more.
Yes, the cholera outbreak has still continued to receive massive support from local and international cooperating partners. The latest being the Scottish government that have praised 500,000 pounds, which is equivalent to 17.7 million kwacha, to help contain the cholera outbreak in Zambia. So the funding comes in response to an emergency appeal from the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Society for funding to support measures including contract tracing, vaccination, as well as the supply of clean drinking water. And also this message has come at the time when President Hakainde Hichilema, on his second visit to the cholera center, called on the Ministry of Health to employ all volunteer health workers at the cholera health centers. Then he also said that he was going to take strong and popular measures to ensure that cholera is eradicated in Zambia. One of the measures that the president has promised is to upgrade shanty compounds that do not have clean running water, as well as a poor road network. So this is something that previous administrations have done, but they have faced resistance from local people, as well as politicians who say you cannot evict people when you do not have anywhere to take them. So we will see how the president is going to see to it that shanty compounds are upgraded and modernized so that cholera does not become a driving ground in those areas.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sishula, for bringing us the latest news from Zambia. Now let's take a look at the weather predictions.
Getting into economic news, the Nigerian president's office has raised eyebrows with its claim that the West African country enjoys the lowest cost of living on the continent. That was a special advisor, Bayo Onanuga, saying on Sunday as he dismissed criticism from a political rival who had said President Bola Tinubu's economic policies were only making life harder for Nigerians.
Now, South Africa's MultiChoice Group opened new tab on Monday. It said it will continue talks with Vivendi's opens new tab Canal Plus after the board concluded that its offer significantly undervalues the company. Canal Plus, a top shareholder in MultiChoice, had on Thursday offered 105 Rand per share for every MultiChoice share it does not already own. Canal Plus said the offer, worth 31.7 billion Rand according to Reuters calculations, was a 40% premium to MultiChoice's closing share price of 75 Rand on January 31st.
Those have been our economic news stories. We head over to the indicators just before Ari shows up with the sport.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with English Premier League football. And a big result for Arsenal. Arsenal beat Liverpool. That game was played at home at Arsenal and they beat them by 3-1. Significant for them because they're just 2 points behind Liverpool, that's leading the English Premier League at the moment with 51 points after 23 games, and Arsenal now 49 points after 23 games. And Manchester City, the defending champion, they 46 points, but they have played 2 games less than Liverpool and Arsenal. It was an important victory for Mikel Arteta, the coach of Arsenal, and it was Leandro Trossard that scored the third and deciding goal for Arsenal in that game. Other games that was played, Wolverhampton, they had an away win against Chelsea by 4-2. And then it was also Aston Villa, they had an away win against Sheffield United, quite a big win by 5-0. That put them up into 4th position on 46 points after 23 games. And then Manchester United also beating West Ham comfortably by 3-0. And that means that the Manchester United up to 6th position on the English Premier League log. They've got 38 league points after 23 games. And continuing international sports news with cricket news, and the second test between England and India concluded, and it's India winning the second test. That game was played in Visakhapatnam, and they won that game by 106 runs. It was England chasing 399 runs, a big score in their 4th innings. They were bowled out for 292 runs. The player of the match in the second test was Yaswal of India. He scored 209 in the first innings of India. With the win, it is India that now level the series by 1-1, and it is a 5-test series, 5 games that they will play in the 5-test series, and it is the 3rd test that will start on the 15th of February. Also, ODI 50 over ODI series played in Australia. It is Australia hosting the West Indies. Australia clinching that 3-game series, and they won the second one by 83 runs. It was Australia batting first, 258 for the loss of 9 wickets, and West Indies replying with 175 all out, with Josh Hazlewood, the best bowler for Australia, 3 wickets for 43 runs. And to conclude today's international sports news, it is golf news from the DP World Tour, the Old European Tour. Dylan Fratelli of South Africa winning the Bahrain Championship with a total of 13 under par. 2 shots better than Zander Lombard, also from South Africa, and then Jesper Svensson of Sweden, also 11 under par. And Fratelli last won on the DP World Tour, the European Tour, in 2017, 6 years ago, when he won the Mauritius Open. And Fratelli had a tough 2023. He wanted to retire after the 2023 season. He mostly played on the US PGA. He played 27 events, only made 4 cuts. So in fact, he had 23 tournaments that he didn't make the cut. So he almost retired, but he kept on going and he won the Bahrain Championship. Also good for him on his world rankings. He was number 434 in the world rankings before this Bahrain Championship. With the win, he moved up 243 positions. He's now number 191 in the world. That is Dylan Fratelli of South Africa. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And that brings us to the end of our show, but before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the highlights from earlier on. Senegal Parliament to debate extending President's mandate as protests break out. Abducted Nigerian school children freed but driver killed. South Africa says platinum restructuring could cut 4,000 to 7,000 jobs. And Mali's ECOWAS exit rally support and sparks regional concerns. Nigeria has Africa's lowest cost of living, according to the presidency.
And of course, the nation, and indeed Africa and the world, is currently in mourning of Dr. Hage Geingob, the former president of the Republic of Namibia. From Africa, good morning, Sona Jakanaka.